Imagine the first family on earth. No kingdoms, no nations, no politics, no weapons of war. Just a father, a mother, and two brothers. And yet, even in this first family, jealousy entered the human heart. One brother looked at the other, not with love, but with comparison. One man saw another being accepted, and instead of learning, he became angry. Genesis chapter 4 gives us one of the most powerful and painful stories in the Bible, the story of Cain and Abel. But this story is not only about the first murder. It is about jealousy, it is about wounded pride, it is about ambition without humility, and it is about what happens when a person fails to control the darkness growing inside the heart. Thousands of years later, the same pattern appeared again in one of the most famous betrayals in history, the assassination of Julius Caesar, a powerful leader, trusted friends, hidden jealousy, political ambition, and finally betrayal. Today, we will explore Genesis chapter 4, connect it with Julius Caesar's assassination, understand its relevance in modern life, and also see how the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita both teach humanity the same timeless lesson. Before a person destroys another, something inside him is already destroyed. Genesis chapter 4 begins after Adam and Eve have left the Garden of Eden. The world has changed. Sin has entered human life. The innocence of Eden is gone. Adam and Eve now begin life outside paradise, and they have two sons. The first son is Cain. Cain becomes a farmer, a man who works the ground. The second son is Abel. Abel becomes a shepherd, caring for the flock. Both brothers bring offerings to God. Cain brings some of the fruits of the soil. Abel brings the firstborn of his flock and the best portions. At first, this may look like a simple act of worship, but Genesis shows us that God does not only look at the outside action. God looks at the heart behind the action. Abel gives with sincerity. Abel gives his best. Cain gives, but something is missing. Maybe his hands brought an offering, but his heart was not fully surrendered. God accepts Abel and his offering, but he does not accept Cain and his offering. This is the turning point. Cain now faces a choice. He can examine himself. He can ask, what can I improve? He can learn from Abel. He can correct his attitude. But Cain does not choose humility. He chooses anger. Genesis says Cain became very angry and his face was downcast. This is important. The first danger was not murder. The first danger was anger sitting quietly inside the heart. God sees Cain's condition and speaks to him. God asks, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? Then God gives one of the most powerful warnings in the Bible. If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. This is the heart of Genesis chapter 4. God is warning Cain before the disaster happens. Sin is described like a dangerous animal waiting at the door. It has desire. It wants control. But God tells Cain that he must rule over it. In other words, Cain still has a choice. He is not forced to become a murderer. He's not helpless. He is being warned. He has time to change. This same moment comes in every human life. Before a person speaks cruel words, there is a warning inside. Before betrayal, there is a warning. Before corruption, before revenge, there is a warning. Before a family breaks, before a friendship collapses, before a business partnership is destroyed, something inside the heart says, stop. But the question is, do we listen? Cain did not listen. Instead of mastering jealousy, he allowed jealousy to master him. He invited Abel into the field, and there, away from the eyes of the family, Cain attacked his brother and killed him. The first murder in the Bible was not committed by a stranger. It was committed by a brother. This teaches us something painful about human nature. Sometimes the greatest danger does not come from outside enemies. Sometimes it comes from comparison, jealousy, and pride among people who are close to us. Now let us move from Genesis to history. Thousands of years after Cain and Abel, the Roman Republic faced its own moment of jealousy, ambition, and betrayal. Julius Caesar was one of the most powerful figures in Roman history. He was a brilliant military commander. He expanded Rome's power. He gained the loyalty of soldiers. He became popular among many common people. But Caesar's growing power created fear in the hearts of others. Some senators believed Caesar was becoming too powerful. Some feared that Rome would lose its republic and fall under one-man rule. But beneath the political arguments, there were also deeper human emotions: jealousy, ambition, fear of losing status, fear of another person's greatness. And among those involved in the conspiracy was Brutus, a man Caesar trusted. That is what makes the assassination so powerful in history. It was not only a political murder, it was a betrayal. On the Ides of March in 44 BC, Julius Caesar entered the Senate. He did not enter expecting death. He was surrounded by men who knew him, men who had spoken with him, men who had shared political life with him. But hidden behind their words was conspiracy. The senators gathered around Caesar. Then the attack began, one blade after another. The most powerful man in Rome fell, not on a battlefield against foreign enemies, but inside Rome itself, surrounded by those who feared him, envied him, and wanted power. When we compare this event with Genesis chapter 4, we see the same spiritual pattern. Cain did not kill Abel because Abel harmed him. Abel's goodness exposed Cain's weakness. Abel's acceptance made Cain feel rejected. Instead of improving himself, Cain removed the person he compared himself with. In the same way, Caesar's success made others uncomfortable. His popularity became a threat. His power awakened fear. His greatness created jealousy and ambition in the hearts of men around him. And just like Cain, they did not master what was growing inside. They acted on it. History often remembers the knife, but wisdom teaches us to look before the knife. Before Cain killed Abel, there was jealousy. Before Caesar was assassinated, there was fear, ambition, and betrayal. Before any great tragedy happens outside, it first grows inside. This is where the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita speak with a surprisingly similar voice. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna about the inner enemies of human life. In chapter 2, Krishna explains how downfall begins. When a person constantly thinks about the objects of desire, attachment develops. From attachment comes desire. From desire comes anger. From anger comes delusion. From delusion comes confusion of memory. From confusion of memory comes destruction of wisdom. And when wisdom is destroyed, the person falls. This is exactly what we see in Cain. Cain looked at Abel's acceptance. He became attached to his own pride. He desired recognition. When he did not receive it, anger arose. His anger clouded his judgment. His wisdom was destroyed, and he fell into murder. The Bhagavad Gita also teaches that desire, anger, and greed are gates that lead the soul toward destruction. Genesis chapter 4 gives us the story. The Gita gives us the psychology. Together, they teach the same lesson. The enemy outside is not as dangerous as the enemy inside. A jealous heart can destroy a family. An ambitious heart without morality can destroy a nation. An angry mind without wisdom can destroy the person himself. After Cain kills Abel, God asks him, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain replies with one of the most famous lines in the Bible, "Am I my brother's keeper?" This answer reveals Cain's spiritual condition. He is not only guilty, he is defensive. He is not only a murderer, he is refusing responsibility. This is another timeless human problem. When people do wrong, they often avoid responsibility. They blame others. They justify themselves. They hide behind excuses. Cain does not say, "I have sinned." He says, "Am I responsible?" But Genesis teaches that we are responsible. We are responsible for our anger. We are responsible for our choices. We are responsible for how we treat people around us. We are responsible for what we allow to grow inside our hearts. God then tells Cain that Abel's blood cries out from the ground. This is a powerful image. It means injustice is never silent before God. Even when no human witness is present, truth is not hidden. Even when a crime happens in the field, away from society, God sees. Cain receives punishment. He becomes restless. He becomes a wanderer. The ground which he once worked as a farmer will no longer yield its strength to him. This is deeply symbolic. Cain's sin breaks his relationship with his brother, with God, with the land, and even with himself. Jealousy never destroys only one relationship. It damages everything connected to life. But even here, Genesis shows something remarkable. Cain fears that others will kill him, and God places a mark on Cain to protect him. This does not remove the consequence, but it shows that even in judgment, God remembers mercy. Genesis chapter 4 is not only a story of punishment, it is also a story showing that God is just. but he is also merciful. Now let us bring this lesson into modern life. Today, most people will never stand in a Roman Senate with daggers. Most people will never physically act like Cain. But the spirit of Cain still appears in modern life. It appears when a brother cannot celebrate another brother's success. It appears when one employee becomes jealous of another employee's promotion. It appears when a business partner betrays another because of ambition. It appears when friends secretly compete instead of supporting each other. It appears on social media where someone else's success makes us feel small. It appears in families, offices, politics, religion, business, and even creative work. We may not kill with our hands, but we sometimes kill with words. We kill someone's confidence. We kill their reputation. We kill relationships through jealousy. We kill trust through betrayal. We kill peace through comparison. Genesis chapter 4 asks us a direct question. What are we doing with the jealousy inside us? Are we mastering it, or is it mastering us? Julius Caesar's assassination also teaches a modern lesson. A society, a family, or an organization becomes dangerous when ambition loses morality. Ambition itself is not wrong. Success is not wrong. Leadership is not wrong. But ambition without character becomes destructive. The conspirators may have spoken the language of politics, but hidden within the event were human weaknesses: pride, fear, jealousy, and the hunger for control. The same happens today. People may say, I am doing this for the organization. I am doing this for justice. I am doing this for my future. But sometimes, behind noble words, the heart is driven by ego. That is why both the Bible and the Gita tell us to examine the inner self. Genesis says sin is crouching at the door and we must rule over it. The Gita says desire, anger, and delusion destroy wisdom. Both teachings are asking us to become aware before action, because once action is taken, consequences begin. So, what practical lessons can we take from Genesis chapter 4? First, do not compare your journey with another person's journey. Cain's mistake began when he looked at Abel as a rival instead of a brother. In modern life, comparison steals gratitude. Someone else's blessing does not mean God has forgotten you. Second, correct your heart before correcting the world. Cain could have improved his offering. He could have changed his attitude, but instead of correcting himself, he attacked Abel. This happens today when people attack those who expose their weakness. Third, listen to warnings early. God warned Cain before the murder. Life also warns us. A disturbed mind, rising anger, sleepless resentment, bitterness towards someone. These are warnings. Do not ignore them. Fourth, take responsibility. Cain asked, am I my brother's keeper? But the moral answer is yes. We are responsible for how our actions affect others. In family, business, friendship, leadership, and society, we are connected. Fifth, choose wisdom over ego. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that anger destroys wisdom. Genesis shows what happens when wisdom is ignored. Before speaking, pause. Before reacting, reflect. Before betraying, remember the cost. Genesis chapter 4 is ancient, but it feels modern because human nature has not changed. The clothes have changed. The cities have changed. The technology has changed. But jealousy, anger, pride, ambition, and betrayal still operate in the same way. Cain and Abel were brothers. Caesar and Brutus were close. In both stories, the deepest wound came from someone near. That is why we must guard our hearts carefully. The people closest to us should not become victims of our insecurity. Their success should not become our pain. Their growth should not become our threat. Their blessing should not awaken our jealousy. The real victory is not defeating Abel. The real victory is defeating Cain within us. The real victory is not removing Caesar. If this video helped you understand Genesis chapter 4 in a deeper way, please like, share, and subscribe to God's ancient wisdom. In the next episode, we will continue our journey through Genesis chapter 5 and uncover another powerful connection between scripture, history, and modern life. Until then, may God bless you with wisdom, humility, self-control, and peace.